in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News Today.
Good morning. Police still investigating this morning after a body was found near the University of Texas campus over the weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Miller.
I'm Sally Hernandez. This is the West Campus neighborhood off of West 25th Street. The body was found in an alley behind apartments. KXAN's Sam Stark talked to students in the area.
A shred of crime scene tape is all that remains after a person was found dead outside a West Campus apartment complex Sunday morning.
Just woke up, went to my kitchen, and my roommate told me that there was a dead body on the dumpster.
Austin and Travis County EMS said they received a call just after 10 a.m. Police confirmed the person died there. For students like Megan Davidson, the lack of information is concerning.
I got the notification that there was actually a person who had passed in this area, and it was very freaky.
The University of Texas continues to prioritize safety in West Campus. In the summer of 2023, it launched the West Campus Ambassadors Pilot Program, which, among other things, escorts residents to their destinations in the late evening and acts as another set of eyes for local law enforcement.
We do safety escorts, walking from a business to a garage, kind of just making everybody feel safe.
From August 2023 to February of this year, the ambassadors escorted nearly 250 students. For now, though, students are just hoping to find out more about what happened.
It obviously puts a negative connotation on living here.
In Austin, Sam Stark, KXAN News.
First warning weather with meteorologist Kristen Curry.
Well, good morning to you. We'll start with a live look outside. This is downtown Austin. You can see the clouds up top on our West Shore home camera there in central Austin. It's possible we even see a couple spots of drizzle this morning. We've got a lot of moisture up top over us, so wouldn't be surprised if some of that came down. Temperatures, though, very mild. 60s across the board. Low to upper 60s from Mason to Fayette County. Austin currently sitting at 68. Fog is going to be something to watch for. I know it doesn't look super concerning at the moment here, but visibility, I think, is going to go back and forth this morning with some of the spots and patches of fog that we expect between now and sunrise. 82 later this afternoon. It's still going to be very comfortable coming off the 80s we had this weekend, but there is going to be a chance for some storms and even the chance of some severe storms, unfortunately. It's that time of year here in Central Texas. We'll talk more about today's low severe risk. We're going to get real toasty here getting into tomorrow, nearing 90 degrees, but some wetter weather on the way, especially later this week. I'm liking what I'm seeing when it comes to the new data coming in this morning. More on that here in your first warning forecast.
Thank you, Kristen. Over to the Texas Panhandle this morning, where 6 fires continue to burn over 1 million acres. The largest is still the Smokehouse Creek fire, but that's only 15% contained. It is the biggest Texas fire in history, and it spread into Oklahoma. While the nearby Windy Deuce fire has burned about 145,000 acres and is 60% contained.
There's some video of the flames as they spread across state lines. The flames have now killed at least 2 people, and the governor confirmed over the weekend the fires destroyed as many as 500 homes and buildings. He warned, though, that that number could still grow.
Continuing our developing news coverage from overnight, Austin police are still investigating after 3 children were shot in southeast Austin. This was at the Douglas Landing apartment homes. It's right near Old Torf and I-35.
911 received a call around 8 last night about a person shot. When officers got there, they found 3 people, all under the age of 18, with gunshot wounds. One of them, we're told, may not make it. The other 2 are in stable condition. Police say the situation was an isolated incident and that detectives are looking into people of interest. Texas Rangers and medical examiner are investigating after a Travis County inmate died while in custody. The Travis County Sheriff's Office says deputies found Jeffrey Pope unresponsive on Thursday evening. Pope went to a local hospital and he died there the following morning. Officers booked Pope on February 21st. He was facing assault charges. And today, Austin leaders are sharing information that you need to know if you live here or are visiting here ahead of this year's festival season.
Mayor Kirk Watson, the Austin Police Department, and officials with South by and the Health Department are all taking part, and they want to make sure that you know that they're going to be there this afternoon at 2 o'clock at Butler Park.
And speaking of festival season, soon hundreds of thousands are going to be gathering and heading here to take part in South by Southwest. Festival actually kicks off today. First up is South by Southwest EDU. It's an event geared more toward education and learning. There are live competitions, opportunities for networking, performances, and in-depth workshops. It runs today through Thursday. The rest of South by Southwest starts on Friday, and with all these people coming to Austin, traffic could get a little worse for you. Over on KXAN.com, we have a map of the road closures we're expecting. We'll also look at what Cap Metro is doing to keep travel running smoothly.
With the Texas primary election right around the corner, what you need to know before you head out to the polls tomorrow.
A group here in Austin has been helping the city with four-legged friends for 20 years. We are looking into what makes these canines so divine. Good morning. This is a live look outside over downtown Austin as we kick off this Monday morning, March 4th already, here on KXAN News Today. Now, tomorrow is Election Day for the Texas primary. You can head to the polls then, starting at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, Texas is one of 16 states with an open primary. That means registered Democrats and Republicans can choose which primary they want to vote in. Voters are going to choose which candidates will represent the Democratic and Republican parties on the ballot when it comes to the November general election.
And voters in Travis County will vote on the Democratic candidate for the county's next district attorney. Incumbent Jose Garza is facing Jeremy Celestine. He's a defense attorney and former prosecutor in the DA's office.
Two Republicans with decades of law enforcement experience want to serve as your next sheriff of Bastrop County. Incumbent Sheriff Maurice Cook is facing off against Jeff Gogo Lewinsky.
KXAN is your local election headquarters. We have a voter guide on KXAN.com with everything you need to know before you vote, including what you'll see on your ballot, sample ballots, and where to vote. You can find it all under this story at KXAN.com.
Presidential candidate Nikki Haley got her first GOP primary win in Washington, D.C. Now, over the weekend, that's according to NBC News. It is a win her campaign hopes will spark some momentum ahead of this week's Super Tuesday.
Haley took 63% of the GOP primary vote. That earned her the district's 19 delegates. Despite recent primary losses, Haley pledged to stay in the race through Super Tuesday. Tomorrow, 15 states and American Samoa will hold nominating contests. Certain sports team, and I should say certain sport, picking up here in the capital city. What is driving the rise in pickleball in Austin?
Big week for the Texas baseball team after a very difficult weekend. I've got more on that coming up.
Hello and good morning. This is a live look over downtown Austin. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We had gorgeous weather, opportunity to get outside. Hope you seized it. Pickleball, one of the things you could have been doing. It has taken the nation by storm, and more people are picking up the paddle and giving the sport a try.
They are. Have you yet?
I have.
Yeah, did you like it?
On several occasions. My mom actually got me into it. Yeah, and I loved it.
All right.
I loved it.
Lots of people love it. So many here in Austin that it's really popular, and now more and more venues are popping up. KXAN's Nabil Ramana talked to a few of those places to see what is driving the demand.
The sound of pickleball fills the air at Waterloo Pickleball, one of Austin's newest pickleball clubs.
Pickleball is exploding in Austin.
Opening just 3 days ago, people are already reaching out about becoming members.
Austin is just this melting pot of professional athletes, recreational athletes.
Co-founder Jeremy Teal, the man with the plan.
We're right here in the downtown Austin area where there's a height of people that want access to courts.
Davis Collins plays a lot. Says more venues means he can get in more practice.
With so many different places opening them up, it's amazing. You want variety, you want places to go.
But it can be hard to find an open court around Austin. Many public courts have long lines to play.
And so you might wait 30 minutes, 45 minutes for a game and then get smoked. And then you're waiting another 30, 40 minutes.
According to Pickleball USA, the national governing body for the sport, at the end of 2023, there were more than 11,000 known places to play, an increase of about 1,100 locations from the previous year.
We literally built this place out in the last 6 weeks.
Up in Pflugerville, pickle landowner Alejandro Rioja says the demand for courts factored into his location as well.
When I was looking where to locate pickle land, I made sure that we were in an area that there were no other facilities nearby.
In June, the facility will open to the public, offering more than just matches.
What we are is a 9 indoor pickleball facility. We're going to be fully fenced. We're going to have AC, food trucks, music, and events.
With more courts and venues popping up, Collins says in the future, his daughter will have plenty of places to practice.
So you're looking at the future as we speak in my hands, isn't that right?
Are you the next pickleball champion? I think that's a yes.
She speaks yes. That's signed for yes.
Too focused to give you an answer.
Yeah, she seemed really into it.
Yeah, very serious.
Committed, for sure. She was very, very.
Do not bother her. She will not be bothered by that question.
It is popular, you see it everywhere. So it makes sense that they're going to start building more and more of these facilities.
Let me show you what's going on today, because if you're looking for pickleball weather, I think tomorrow and Wednesday will be the best days because it will be the driest days of the week. But today there's going to be an opportunity for some rain. It's going to be hard to tell on radar this morning, but there is an opportunity for not only some drizzle, but some light rain. We'll be tracking that throughout the morning. There's just so much moisture sitting on top of us that I think some spots of raindrops are certainly going to be noticeable here and there. You'll notice in general, we don't have any widespread storm system yet, but we're going to be working with the dry line here later on today to potentially spark some storms for the afternoon. Now, getting started this morning, everybody's in the 60s, mid to upper 60s at that. It is very mild. As we look at the temperature change, we're even warmer than where we were yesterday at this time. So a good 4 to 5 degrees warmer heading into the afternoon. We'll see temperatures in the upper 70s by lunch with the forecast high coming closer to about 82. Now, you'll notice these storm chances here. That 20% is just for drizzle this morning. The 20% here on the later part of the day planner is for the afternoon storms. I'm not expecting any sort of major, temperature impact. Everybody, I think, is going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s, which, by the way, a little bit warmer than where we should be for this time of year. But not everybody's going to see the storms. Let me walk you through what I think our models are showing and the best opportunity for the storms to come. That's going to be later today, if and only if we get, one, a little bit of sunshine behind that morning drizzle, and two, those storms are able to overcome a stable layer up higher in the atmosphere here. So this model isn't showing necessarily impressive storm chances, but those storms that do manage to overcome that stable layer up on top of us, they could potentially be strong to severe. It's low risk. That dark green color is a 1 out of 5 threat for seeing a strong to severe storm. But if we do see those storms, there's an opportunity for those storms to be strong with hail and winds. Those are the two primary concerns later on today. But I want to emphasize the fact that there's just not going to be a lot of storm action out there. So we're not guaranteed storms, but if those storms do develop, we will be watching for the threat of them turning strong to severe. That's round one today. Tomorrow and Wednesday, I got nothing but a mix of sun and clouds. By the time we hit Thursday, though, we actually have a better storm system going north of us, sending down a cold front. We're going to be looking at scattered to potentially widely scattered showers and storms heading into Thursday and Friday morning, and then it clears just in time for the weekend. The second opportunity for rain this week, I think, is where we're going to pick up most of our rainfall, and that's going to be anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch to pockets of 3/4 of an inch. Not everybody's going to see that, but as far as the rain chances go in the 7-day, Thursday, Friday will be the best bet for that wetter weather. So not to totally write off today's storm chance, but again, it's not a guarantee. If those storms do develop, then we'll be watching for some rain and again, the threats of hail and wind. Temperature-wise, we're going to be talking 80s today. Tomorrow, that is not a mistake. Near 90 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. You'll notice the lower 80s. We've got Wednesday. Rain chances up to about 60% on Thursday, lingering into Friday morning. This cold front actually comes in on Friday. So as it does, it pushes out all that moisture. Drier skies and more wind Friday afternoon. And you'll notice the weekend, yes, cooler in the 60s. But we get more sunshine in here. Overnight lows far above freezing. We're talking 50s and 60s for the next 6 to 7 nights. So as far as the storm track goes, it's a little further towards the north, and man, is it hitting the west. The biggest winter storm of the season in this Sierra Nevada mountains. This is what it looked like out there. It's going to continue today. The heaviest snow expected late last night into the overnight, but it should actually taper later on today. So residents are having to brave the storm to clear driveways, raise their front steps and other pathways. Some 6 million people across the region are under some form of winter weather alerts, whether that's winter storm warning or blizzard warning. Thousands of people, unfortunately, without power. Some, like Kevin Dupuis, said it's had an impact on his business.
Business has been pretty slow considering all the roads were shut down and some of the hills were shut down, but we totally get it because the roads haven't been that safe, so we don't really want people driving around and all that sort of stuff.
And get this, they've already had 5 to 10 feet in some areas, with an additional 1.5 feet possible. Several major highways are shut down, including a large portion of I-80, a major thoroughfare through the mountains. And severe weather moved through parts of Florida on the opposite side of the coast. This was over the weekend, unfortunately causing flooding in several areas. The storm also brought hail and power outages to South Florida. Downed trees were reported in some of those areas as well. Rain totals reached over 2 inches in some parts of the state. Experts say that the weather and active storm chances will continue through at least the middle of this week before calmer and quieter weather moves towards the Florida area as we get towards the end of this week.
Thank you, Kristen. SpaceX launched its first NASA astronaut flight of the year from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida over the weekend.
A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched 4 astronauts to the International Space Station. For NASA on the Crew 8 mission, the 4 astronauts are heading to the ISS. Their commander, Matthew Dominic, the pilot, Michael Bure, mission specialist Jeanette Epps, and mission specialist Alexander Grebenkin.
Mission specialists held a press conference early in the morning to give an update on the mission.
It was awesome to listen to the crew and the excitement. You heard Matt Dominic make several calls to the ground relative to the abort boundaries going up the hill, and so it was great to hear Matt's voice. You could tell that they were really excited on their way to the International Space Station and on orbit.
Now the Space Quartet is going to reveal their colleagues, or I should say relieve their colleagues of SpaceX's Crew 7 mission. And if all goes well, the Dragon space capsule Endeavour will dock itself at the ISS tomorrow morning.
And here at home, some South Texas groups want to take on SpaceX over the company's operations along the Gulf Coast. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department is having a special meeting right here in Austin to vote on SpaceX's proposal to swap land after SpaceX sought to acquire dozens of acres from Boca Chica State Park and surrounding areas just last month. In exchange for all of that land, SpaceX would buy and donate about 500 acres near Laguna at Asacosa National Wildlife Refuge to Texas Parks and Wildlife. But some critics claim it wasn't a fair land exchange to begin with because residents would lose access to those public areas.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Good morning to you. Longhorn baseball team will take on Texas A&M tomorrow night at UFC Disch-Falk Field, and they won't be in a good mood. They know they're going to lose some games, but not all losses are created equally. And yesterday, inside Minute Maid Park, Longhorns, after losing 2 on Friday and Saturday, trying to salvage 1 out of 3 against Vanderbilt, started out well enough. Kimball Schuessler makes it 3-0 with that home run, and that fan is fired up. Then Porter Brown with the score 4-2 in the third. He launches a home run. Brown had been struggling prior to going to Houston, but not 1 but 2 this time for Brown. It was 6-3 at the time in the 4th inning, makes it 8-3. Longhorns would continue to add to their lead. They were up by 8, and then things start to disappear. And Vanderbilt, bases loaded in the 7th, and Troy Leneve plugs the gap, and the Commodores are coming in 1 by 1, and just like that, game is tied at 7. And then that runner at third would come home on Matthew Polk's fly ball. That's a sac fly, and Vandy comes all the way back to take the 12-11 lead. But still, plenty of at-bats to go for the Longhorns as they go to the 8th inning. They get a leadoff double, but that tying run is stranded at third base. And then, you see how fired up Vandy is. Well, the Commodores, they add some insurance. Camden Koziel, another shot in the gap, and this one's a tough one to swallow for the Longhorns. They went down to Houston 7-1, and now they are 7-4 as they come home again to take on the Aggies Tuesday and open Big 12 play at Texas Tech on Friday. Second ATX Open was historic. 2 ladies from China in an American final. It's never happened before in pro tennis. Zhu Wang and Yu Wan were playing for the championship, and you won. The 8th seed, the 25-year-old, did not have a singles title professionally, but she does now as she wins it in straight sets. So another week of tennis comes to an end at Westwood Country Club. Again, it is Yuan from China taking home the title. Texas basketball tonight, their final road game of the regular season as they take on Baylor in their only trip to Foster's Pavilion as a Big 12 opponent. Back to you.
Thanks, Roger. For those listening on the KXAN Today podcast, thanks for being with us. Here's what we're tracking at 5. We are checking back in with people who lost their homes during a South Austin apartment fire and the new safety concerns they're raising.